What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna be coming out to you guys with another weekly stock watch list. I missed last week's watch list because I've been traveling. You guys are not aware, I was in Florida, now I'm in North Carolina. Picked up some Airbnb property, so yeah, I'm really excited for that. But because I'm traveling, won't have the camera out today, but hopefully I can get a little setup going in the hotel right here in North Carolina for the videos this week, because I'm gonna be here probably till the 30th. Got the Airbnb all set up pretty much. And it's a beautiful thing about trading. I can literally be in North Carolina, setting up some other businesses, and still trade every single day, as long as I got Wi-Fi and got my computer. And after North Carolina, I think I'll probably be heading to New York for a week, and then we'll see we'll see what I want to do after that. But if you guys want to watch more videos like this, if you guys want to learn more about the stock market, the crypto market, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Guys, have been killing it. I mean, just go back to our Shiba Inu video 2 weeks ago. Everybody now is filming into Shiba. Let's go look at Shiba real quick. How's our boy Shiba? Let's go into crypto. Oh, not SHIB. Shiba. Shiba. You know, everybody's talking about Shiba. Look, guys. These are our entries from last week's video. Look where we bounced. I was talking about this green line here, which we pretty much in this whole pretty much blue zone. I said this whole zone is a good entry for me. This green line will be like the best entry, which we saw with double bottom, and actually, and you know, even literally had it drawn out. We broke past this all-time high level, and right now we're retracing. So you know, if we're looking for an ad, you know, back here around that 0.00003533 level, that's I'll be looking for another ad. You know, if I was looking to get another trade in it, but you know, it pretty much went to perfection. So we didn't even FOMO. We traded this perfectly, and you know, I hope you guys watched the last week's videos, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, video that we talked about that. Same thing with Sol. You know, it's in the 200s. You guys can see these were two buy levels from when we talked about it, probably like middle of September. We literally got our first buy level, and then we dipped into the second buy level here. If you're able to get some of that too, now we're killing it. And we saw this double top here, so we saw this rejection here, all-time high level, this double top on Solano. But it's still actually looking strong. I think it'll definitely be breaking this all-time high level very, very soon. But we're not here. We're here for stocks, But I guess so many questions about crypto. I gotta talk about my boys crypto as well. But we're here for stocks, and the first ticker symbol I like talk about, it's ticker symbol CVS. You guys might know CVS from a newsletter we had back in, I think it was April, May. We had this ascending triangle here. We saw this breakout, beautiful breakout all the way up to the 90s, and then we have this range consolidation zone that's been going on since the beginning of May, June, all the way till now. But I think that consolidation zone is going to be coming to an end. First of all, we saw this has pretty much this triple bottom here on the daily time frame. We're here, of course, on the daily time frame, and look, it had this double bottom. Now it's been made. It literally just broke out of this triangle setup that's been setting here. Now, if you can draw it from here, you can draw the bottom part from down here. So you can see it literally just broke out this triangle. You can have the support zone being this 80 level. You can have the support zone be this more ascending level. Whatever you want to, however you want to draw it, however you want to do it. It literally just broke out this level. And now I'm looking for, I actually have another bit of resistance level over here around 80 cents, 84, where we kind of touched for. I would like to see maybe a pullback, a rejection here to retest the breakout, and then the breakout potentially get a buy level. If we don't get that, we'll also be looking for a breakout level here, with the first profit target really being around this 90. It shouldn't be any resistance level until this this full number here, the 90. If we go zoom out a little bit with CVS, maybe let's switch over to the weekly time frame. See, boy, our weekly time frame. Here you go. We'll be breaking out this 90 level. If we get above that, we really don't have another one until 97. Getting us some really good high risk reward, as we're catching this breakout kind of in the infancy of it. So my favorite play I would like to look out of this is a pretest of this breakout level. If we don't get that, even just a breakout, be a good entry for me, looking for the 90 to 97, and then eventually the 100 level as profit targets for medium to short term swing trade. This will be, and CVS has really been always a good stock when we trade it, so really excited for the ticker. Next up, I want to talk about ticker symbols CHWY. Ticker symbol CHWY is actually something that you guys were talking about in the Discord chat room. If you're not in a premium Discord chat room, highly recommend for you guys to get in that chat room, because we literally always kill it. But it's a ticker symbol that they were talking about in there, so I got my curiosity. I'm like, let me look at it. What are these guys? What are these guys looking at? It looks so good. And I saw what you guys saw. And it shouldn't surprise you guys that once you get good at trading, you start seeing the same thing as other good traders start seeing. First of all, the first thing we notice, CHWY has this massive gap to fill. if you put up this rectangle here, all the way from pretty much 86 to like high 81, 80, pretty much due to these earnings they had, Mr. Earnings by 1.54 here on the earnings, and on the revenue by 0.61. So not too bad of a miss on the revenue side, but still a miss nonetheless. But anyway, I had this big gap down here. I actually was looking bullish before it, which was the trade that we took on this inverse head and shoulder here pattern. We had this breakout, and that's pretty strong move all the way up to 97, rejecting pretty much the 100 level, which we took not too long ago. I remember setting that trade up that we took advantage of, and of course sold off to the earnings, because earnings are always a gamble. You can never predict earnings. Even good earnings can cause a sell off, and better earnings can cause push up. But what I would like to see from CHWY is, first of all, is to break out of this downtrend. That's the first target that I would look at for CHWY, looking for an entry. So I break about this downtrend here. It's been getting rejected on it, but it's been trying to like push higher every single time. As you guys can see here, when the more times you retest or test a trend line, the more likely it is to break through. This has pretty much been 1, 2 here, because these days I was grinding up on it, getting rejected, and now we're on the third retest. And here for an entry, I'll be looking for this breakout level, sitting the alert above 66, 67. Those would be the alerts that I'll be looking at when I'll be looking at for this move up. Also, I like to talk about, there's another little tiny gap here. It's a tiny little baby gap, which pretty much be my first profit target that I'll be looking at after we get this breakout. I think this will be the first major area resistance. It's gonna land a second, third one, up to this zone to get filled, which is giving like pretty much massive risk to reward. If we enter this breakout level here, risking the breakout entry with stop loss under 64, 65, really massive reward. Also, anything I like to point out about this trade, they did setting up a bit of an inverse head and shoulder pattern here. If you guys can see, made this low, and here looking to fill up this low, maybe with another 2 or 3 more days here to fill up this low and then try to break through. But it's setting up this inverse head and shoulder pattern, which was what we traded here back on in April to June, which was on a pretty much larger time frame. It was still on a daily time frame, but just on a larger, like, extended period of time. Setting it, the neckline level, we'll have to set it here around 67. So it kind of coincides with this breakout ladder we're looking for, trying to break this downtrend. I don't even know what happened right there. Maybe you just said a little something, but yeah, we're trying to look through this breakout level, this neckline level, this downtrend. I think if we get a strong breakout out of both of these, which is really trying to, as you guys start seeing these doji candles here, when you start seeing like candles like they have wicks on both sides, it's really kind of pointing out to the signs that it's trying to reverse potentially. So definitely be something that I have my alerts set for 66, 67 to see how it behaves, looking for a breakout above this downtrend and potentially this neckline here, setting up this inverse head and shoulder pattern, looking for profits, 72, 76, and then potentially, if you can, all that is capped to what is the gap goes up to 86. So yeah, it's definitely look like it wants to rip if we do break out of this downtrend and it's out of this inverse head and shoulder pattern. And I'll give a shout out to the chat. I think Zeus was the first guy in our chat room, one of our head traders that pointed out, but a lot of other guys I think were talking about it as well. So big shout out to the chat. Hey, me guys, look at this. And CHWY is a stock that I traded many times. So I'm really excited to maybe potentially set this up for some plays next week. Now let's talk about everybody's favorite stock. Everybody and literally everybody is trading this stock. Ticker symbol DAWC, aka Trump's potential SPAC. I'm saying potential because, guys, that's pretty much the rumors we're running on, that this company, DWC, is a SPAC company and they want to bring Trump's new social media company public. But I like to warn you guys, there's still a long ways to go before they can do that. They need to submit papers with the SEC filing, they need to do the whole merger. So as of right now, it's not set in stone. Just keep that in mind. Those are the rumors, but it's not set in stone. They can totally change it at any time they want until they set those files, set those papers all set up. But it's pretty much been running from the 10s, which is what SPAC trade at, the 10s all the way to a massive run to 170. Now it's been trading around the 90, what did it close at? $81 mark. But yeah, massive run, up over 1,000% since it's pretty much $10 mark where the SPAC trading at. And you're familiar with SPAC. SPAC is a way that company can go public without having to IPO, which is a way for them to go get traded publicly much faster than if they were to go to the traditional IPO, pre-IPO, and then the listing price. But I like to talk to you guys about SPACs and DWC. I like to warn you guys really more than anything, more than a technical analysis. I like to warn you guys because of the SPACs. I see this all the time. I'll just literally go back to ticker symbol LCID. Ticker symbol Lucid. Do you remember this SPAC? This is a SPAC that was again hyped up. Was gonna be the competitor to Tesla. This and that. It was the next thing to come out. I even forget what the symbols were before it became LCID. But what do we see here? A massive run to 65, then boom. When the papers were filed to have that SPAC filing, it was $44, and I think we saw the merger around this September. I think it was around September, and we saw the merger August. I can't remember when it actually merged and it changed their ticker symbol to LCID. But you see this a lot. You see this a lot with SPACs. They get all this hype up, all this news. People are talking about the next best thing, the biggest company ever, this and that. And I hear it all the time. Pretty much, with all of them, this one's different, this one's special, this and that, whatever. I don't care. When the news comes out that they're actually gonna, bring the SPAC is confirmed, boom, you have this big, massive sell-off. Why do you have this big, massive sell-off? Well, because if investors invested before the SPAC around these $10 levels, they cannot sell. Until that is confirmed, they cannot sell their investment. If they do sell their investment, they're only going to make that $10 back. That's all the thing they can do. So, if the stock was up to $50 and the initial investors can only take up $10. Those are like the people that are investing before the SPAC, which means the SPAC that we just talked about, DWAC, already has a really low flow. I want to go back to it. DWAC. He already has a really low flow, right? Now a lot of that flow is taken up by these investors that invested before, at the $10 mark, when this SPAC first came out, and they cannot pull their money out, because if they pull their money out, they pretty much be losing all those gains. They can only take out up to $10. Right, so if they have 1,000 shares, they can take out those 1,000 shares whenever they want, but can only take them out for $10 a share. They will not be taking out $81 a share, which means they will be losing all that money. But now, once they actually file the SPAC, and they can finally take out their money for a profit, whichever share price can be $200, $50, $30, whatever, they'll cause the massive thing. A lot of that, hype is gonna fade away. A lot of those news articles are gonna stop coming out. People are gonna stop losing interest, and it's gonna happen all over again, like we saw with Skills, we saw with Lucid. And most likely we'll see it with DWAC. Not saying it's gonna happen for sure, but I just gotta warn you guys. I'm here to warn you guys, and I just want you guys to be careful when it comes down to these SPACs. They're very dangerous. But now on a technical side point, I do like how it bounced on this level here, $74 level here. We see this. Go to my rectangle tool, but we see this consolidation zone, found support, a nice bounce on it. Has a bit of a triangle look, if you want to bring this down from here, if we kind of ignore this massive candle 160, but from here, it's been getting rejected on this trend line here, and it has this nice, beautiful here hammer candle. I'm looking at 30-minute chart just because we have so little info on this. I can look at a daily chart, but we saw this nice little this dip's getting about more and more until we saw this hammer candle, this pretty strong reversal candle, but did get rejected on this trend line here. My move would be like I'll either look for a dip to the same $3 level, to look for bounce there on this or this breakout level here. Looking for profits at probably the $100 mark, the $100 mark, and then this 120 mark, and then potentially the all-time high level. Not a company that planned all long term at this type of levels, but it is a company that has the momentum going. Just like Lucid, there's a lot of opportunity to trade. Has those shares still, the liquidity still being small because there's already a limited amount of shares. Plus, some of those shares are being held up by previous investors that cannot sell because we just talked about the $10 level. They can only pull out for $10 because that's what they invested at before this SPAC was on the stock market. And so there's going to be a lot of potential, and I think it definitely can run. Just want to warn you guys about the holding long-term level, buying, FOMOing all the way up in the high hundreds, trying to catch the next big thing, and then getting burned down. Like we saw so many people messaging about Lucid, Skills, and that's what I want to warn you guys about mostly. But I'll definitely be looking for a bounce here on this $73, $74 mark here for a breakout above, or potentially we can see Monday if we do get a gap up straight out, just a breakout. But this is pretty much the first strong consolidation zone. It's trend line here, setting up a pretty, Pretty standard triangle setup over here, looking for this breakout. And you can even bring down this first target to 95 if you really wanted to. Be a little more conservative. There's some resistance at 95, then 100, then this 115. I think you pretty much have room to 170, and this can definitely run. There's a lot of moves out there. There's a lot of news, a lot of hype around this ticker. And just want you guys to keep in mind, it's not set in stone as well. It doesn't have to. This company, it's not forced by law to bring the Trump media company out publicly. They haven't filed those papers with the SEC just yet. And like I said, a lot of times once those papers get finalized and it becomes like official, you'll see the sell-off just like we saw and listed. So I just want to warn you guys about that. Take advantage of momentum. Take advantage of the trades, the setups as long as they're there. Trade with a stop loss. Do not just buy this just to buy because you FOMO in, because you get burned every single time. I mean, how many times have you got burned by FOMO? Like, should I really be here telling you guys? But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. This is pretty much it. It's 3 tickers. I really want to talk about DWAC because everybody keeps asking me about it. Hey, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. If you're gonna trade money live tomorrow, Monday, I trade live every single day. Give you guys my entry, my exit over at Small Players. Feel free to check out the links in the bio as well. If you want to learn more about stock market, crypto market, we also offer a course. All the links will be down in bio. I will see you all the next video, and peace.